order for the Traffic Safety Commission, July 28th at 6:04. We have a roll call, please.
I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Present.
Chair Knox? Oh, excuse me, Vice Chair Knox?
Present.
Chair Bayes?
Present.
Chair, we have a quorum.
Okay, to go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Maria, would you mind?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there any corrections from the June 30th meeting?
We have no corrections to the agenda at this time, Chair.
Move on to, we'll go to the next one, is the presentations. Presentation given by who?
This is a presentation by Matthew Ramos, the Deputy Director for Planning, regarding oversized vehicle parking regulations.
Thank you, City Manager. As stated, good evening, Chair Bayes and members of the Traffic and Safety Commission. My name is Matthew Ramos. I am the Assistant Director of Planning and Community Development, and I will be presenting information tonight on the oversized vehicle ordinance. On July 24th, 2024, the Montebello City Council adopted ordinance number 2478, which updated Chapter 10.68 of the Montebello Municipal Code. This ordinance was created to regulate the parking of oversized vehicles in the city. The decision was driven by four main safety concerns: safety risk caused by these large vehicles, visual obstructions that limit drivers' visibility, ongoing complaints from residents, and the strain these vehicles place on already limited street parking. The goal and intent was to create a safer, more accessible environment for everyone in the community. Chapter 10.68 of the Montebello Municipal Code outlines the regulations for oversized vehicles. It includes permit requirements, clear definition and exemptions, and detailed enforcement procedures. One key point to note is that beyond adding regulations for oversized vehicles, we also added language in the ordinance to prohibit the parking of unattached trailers. Oversized vehicles are defined by the California Vehicle Code and our local ordinance. This includes buses, trailers of all types, such as semi-trailers and boat trailers, trailer coaches, recreational vehicles like motorhomes and travel trailers, and any vehicle over 6,000 pounds gross vehicle weight. However, there are exceptions. Vehicles with handicap placards, government vehicles, emergency vehicles, and utility vehicles, or those with valid permits, are exempt from these regulations. So when does a violation occur? A violation occurs when an oversized vehicle is parked on a public street without a valid permit, or if it exceeds a 72-hour time limit per permit. Additionally, you're limited to 12 permits per year for the same property or vehicle. Other violations include parking unattached trailers, blocking visibility or traffic signs, and having an expired registration. In order to obtain a permit, you first must be a Montebello resident. The oversized vehicle must be parked within 25 feet of your property and be both operable and currently registered. Each permit is valid up to 72 hours with a maximum of 12 permits per year per vehicle or property. And there must also be a 48-hour gap between permit periods, and the vehicle must not create any safety hazards. Some of the enforcement tools that are available to staff are the issuance of parking citations, as well as towing illegally parked vehicles or trailers. Repeated noncompliance may also result in the denial of future permits. As far as enforcement hours, our city parking enforcement staff is available to respond Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The way that you can contact them is displayed on the PowerPoint, whether either by phone or by email. And then on after hours or Sundays, you can contact the non-emergency police line for the police department. As far as the permit process, you would need to visit the Planning and Community Development Department counter Monday through Thursday between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Residents will need to provide proof of residency and vehicle information. And it's important to note that all permits must comply with the municipal code and any other safety standards. There are certain exemptions in cases when a permit is not required. This includes vehicles that are actively loading or unloading, those owned or contracted by the city or utility providers, emergency vehicles, and any vehicle displaying a valid disabled placard as long as it's not obstructing traffic. Just some brief statistics since we started enforcement on August 15th of 2024. We've issued 328 citations as well as 35 vehicles were towed. And in addition to, I know there was comments the previous Traffic and Safety Commission in regards to oversized vehicles in Olympic Vale and Malden. We patrol that area since the last Traffic and Safety Commission about 15 separate times. There were no violations observed, but we'll continue to patrol that area. And if there is any kind of oversized vehicle, will be towed, or if it's after hours, we'll notify the police department. That completes my presentation. Have any questions?
I do have a question.
I do. Oh, go ahead, Maria. Commissioner.
Just for clarification, this new regulation excludes driveways of residents for oversized vehicles like mobile homes?
Yes, we do have additional regulations that we added in there for parking on your driveway. The vehicle needs to meet some sort of setback requirements, as well as ensuring that the vehicle is operable, because we had to look at this holistically. We knew the vehicles were going to be stored somewhere else if we were asking them to not park it on the street. So we added some language in there to address the possibility of those vehicles being moved onto private property.
Okay, thank you.
I have two questions. Good afternoon. On slide 7, I noticed there's the denial of future permits for reported noncompliance. What is considered noncompliance, and how many times does the noncompliance is given before a permit is denied? That's my first question.
So I think we would take it on a case-by-case basis. I think we're obviously taking in information from the residents, assuming that they're going to park the vehicle where they state they are. Some of the violations we might see is if they state they're going to park it in front of their property, but they actually park it maybe around the corner from somebody else's property. So we would notate that, that they weren't following the guidelines, and for any future permits, we would take a look at it closer to see whether or not we'd be issuing any additional permits, as well as exceeding the timeline that's allowed per the permit, which is 72 hours.
Okay, and then the next one is an observation followed by a question. I noticed that the city council adopted the ordinance 2478 on July 24, 2024, and by August 15, 2024, one of the slides showed 328 citations and 35 towed vehicles. So it's a wondering if residents were given a grace period or were they issued a warning prior to the citations?
Yes, so after the first reading of the ordinance, we had parking staff issue warnings to those that we saw that were in violation, letting them know that there was a new ordinance. And then after the second reading is when we actually started to issue citations. And there was also, we did post some information on the city's social media as well.
Thank you.
I have a comment, actually. When we left the meeting that day, there was actually, in the same area I was speaking of, the same diesel truck was parked there. So there was, and we called the officers.
Yeah, it's important for us to know. Please share that information with us. You can email it to me directly or the code enforcement email. If it's the oversized vehicle is there after hours, we always forward it to the police department, and they always respond. It's just trying to find the general time that the violations are occurring are helpful for us to kind of monitor it.
Okay.
Any other question? And
Thank you, Mr. Ramos.
go to
Go to
the next one.
regular agenda.
We'll go regular agenda now. It's gonna be, first one is the comments.
Chair, we have 2 public comments. First speaker is Sylvia Martinez.
Hello, good evening to all. And the reason why I'm here is because I applied for a blue curb application for my mother. She's 94 years old, and she's unable to walk. And I've also provided pictures to the city that the neighbors were parking their cars in front of her house and leaving them there for about a week. And so it's difficult for my sisters because we take turns taking her to the doctor, and it's hard to get her into the car. She is unable to walk very far, and this makes it difficult for us to have her walk a house away or 2 houses away to get her in the car. And I've talked to the neighbors, and I told them that, if they can please make it, so that we can have that space there to get her in and out of the car, but I don't get any response. So it gave me no other alternative but to come to the city and apply for the blue curb, which I think it was approved, and I want to thank you all for that, because it will make things easier for us, because she also has her L4 is fractured in her back, and that's going to take time to heal. So it's also hard for her to move. And I give God thanks to allow my mother to be with us this long. It's unheard of to hear people living up in their 90s, and I'm very grateful to that. And they've been residents for the city of Montebello since 1975. We all went to Shore High School. My siblings, we all went there and we graduated. We went to the public schools here in Montebello. And so I just wanted to reiterate that and to let you know that I'm also still a proud resident, even though I don't live here. I live in West Covina. But, I'm proud to been able to live here, and we participated a lot in the city of Montebello. My siblings, all of us did. So I'm very grateful to all of that, and grateful to all of you. And I just want to say thank you.
You have another one?
We have a second speaker, Vincent LaRocca.
Hi, Commissioners. Nice to see you again. As you know, a new commissioner was selected for my district, but I just came here as a resident to express some thanks and also some concerns. One appreciation that I'd like to express is the work that was done on Madison and Concourse, the roundabout there. It looks great, and it's providing safety for the residents in that area. I hope that things like that can be done in other parts of the city where residents have concerns about safety. In particular, I hope that staff would look at Hay Street and Via Costa. In the similar vein of Madison and Concourse, we have a lot of street racers doing donuts at that intersection, and also we have a lot of drivers failing to do a complete stop. So if we can have something like a roundabout that was implemented at Madison and Concourse at Via Costa and Hay Street, I think that's going to mitigate a lot of the danger and the potential collisions that can occur if we allow this to continue. Specifically the street racing, the donuts, and and the failing of drivers to come to a complete stop. So I hope staff and I hope the commission can look into this and make this a priority, and also other areas of the city where roundabouts can be implemented for safety. In addition, I noticed that there's some construction being done on Montebello Boulevard, and it looks like it's a big infrastructure investment. So with that in mind, I would hope that the commission considers implementing some of the recommendations that the consultants did during the bicycle master planning process. When that master plan was developed, they recommended to install protected, separated bike lanes on Montebello Boulevard. So with that infrastructure investment that we're taking part in at the moment, as you can see all the construction going on Montebello, I hope that trying to implement some of the recommendations of the master plan can be considered, because I think that is going to help residents commute to where they need to go, get to the Beverly Boulevard bus stop, explore their city, get active, get healthy, and just make our city look better. Because there's a lot of other cities that have beautiful bike lanes. You have Whittier, their Greenway Trail, going east to west. It's just so beautiful, right? If you ever had a chance to go there, everyone walks every morning, and it's just a great place to be. And I hope Montebello can have something similar to that. And I think Montebello Boulevard is our main corridor going north to south, and getting to our shopping centers, having people be able to bike to their shopping center or take an electric scooter or whatever they have. I think that's going to be extremely valuable and also beneficial for all residents. So please consider this. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Chair, we have no more public comments at this time.
Okay, we'll go with the meeting, on with the meeting. We will approve the meetings of June 30th. Are there any corrections or approvals of the meetings? Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion to approve the June 30th, 2025 Traffic and Safety Commission meeting minutes by Commissioner Takayama, seconded by Chair Baez. I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Knox?
I was absent.
Oh, sorry about that. So you will abstain your vote.
Abstain.
Okay. And Chair Baez?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go to our regular meeting. What we are doing, the regular business, I say. I see, the first one is,
Item number 3.
yeah, is on Hay Street, a blue curve on Hay Street.
Yeah, Mr. Barnes or Caesar? Caesar is presenting this item.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioner, City Manager, and audience members. This is 828 North Hay Street, blue curb application. The city received an application for blue curb roughly 7 months ago. We had conversations with the residents, both staff from Public Works. We went ahead and visited the resident, understanding some of the relatively difficulties that her mother was having with accessing the driveway. So the goal here was that we went ahead and took a look at the site, and based on our experience, we determined that the blue curb was needed in front of the house due to several factors, especially with certain portions of Hay Street being on a hill, and then also their driveway being a little bit higher than normal. And with that, that concludes my presentation.
Do we have any comments on it? Any?
No comments.
The recommendation is to approve the request of installation of 15 feet of blue curb for the disabled parking space at 828 North Hay Street. Entertain a motion if council.
I motion to
if
approve.
Traffic Commission.
I second that.
We have a motion to approve this item by Vice Chair Knox, seconded by Commissioner Hernandez. I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Knox?
Aye.
Chair Bayes?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay, we're gonna go item 4. A traffic signal warrant, that's on Lincoln Avenue and Ray Avenue? Ray. Is that where they're from? Okay.
Dennis Barn, traffic engineer, give a presentation.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. The recommendation as presented in your report, I'll mention that first, is to receive and file the traffic signal warrant analysis study for the intersection of Lincoln Avenue and Rhea Drive, and to approve the city traffic engineer's recommendation to install 2 radar feedback signs on Lincoln Avenue and locate each sign 400 feet east and west from Rhea Drive. The background information, Public Works received a citizen request. They believe that a traffic signal was needed at the intersection of Lincoln Avenue at Rhea Drive. In order to address that request, there are certain warrants as outlined in the manual uniform traffic control devices in the state of California and at a national level. So in order to evaluate the request, the study was authorized, and we did a field investigation. We took traffic counts, peak hours, 24-hour approach volumes, as well as speeds. We reviewed a gap study that I requested from Rhea Drive, and we also looked at the collision history at that location. And page 2 of your report, we provide give you an aerial view of where the location is, about 2,000 feet east of North Poplar Avenue. In figure 2 of the report, we presented another aerial view, a little bit of a blow-up to show you what the geometrics are like. It's a T intersection. There's a little service drive there going in the eastbound direction that tees into Rhea Drive. The counts were taken in April of this year, started on a Tuesday, which is normally the days of the week we like to count. We don't normally count on a Monday or a Friday. We like to count during the week so we get more of a normal representation of the traffic volumes. And with that, we collected the data for 2 peak hours in the AM midday as well as in the afternoon 4 to 6 time period. During a review of the results that came in, it was observed that there is speeding occurring on Lincoln Avenue, both in the east and westbound directions on Lincoln, and they're averaging 8 to 9 miles per hour above the posted speed limit of 25. Collision history-wise, there are only 3 accidents reported in a 3-year period, but nothing of the type that we look for, like right-angle accidents at the intersection. In the attachment of your reports, I presented a collision diagram to show what accidents occurred, and so you get a feel for where they occurred, and there's nothing occurring at the at Lincoln and Rhea Drive. The gap study was done we do a gap study from the vehicles from Rhea Drive. If you're parked there, you want to make a left turn onto Lincoln. We've established by other engineering standards, and it takes about 9 seconds to make a left turn. If you're parked there, you want to make a left turn, it takes about 9 seconds. If it's really extremely busy and the traffic was so heavy, you wouldn't be able to get out. And that can be used as a basis to justify a traffic signal to create gaps if you put a signal in. As it turned out, I went through a little analysis here in your report to show that the average wait time was like 42 seconds in the morning and then 13 seconds or 14 in the afternoon. But what it turned out, the results showed that there are a lot of gaps in the traffic stream. So vehicles parked or stopped on Rhea Drive do not have any problem making that left turn. it's not, the volumes are not that heavy. There's like 9 warrants in the manual. The report goes through the signal pedestrian warrant. There is a school, La Merced, there's Academy, and La Merced, there's intermediate school. But the volumes as such were not enough to justify or meet the criteria that's required for the pedestrian. And I'd like to mention that the summary of the worksheets are contained in the back as an attachment to your report. Moving on to the next page of Table 1, I have to mention, this is on page 5 of the report, there is a correction. I have to note this. Unfortunately, the wrong table got put, it looks like got put in there, but of the warrant 1, it was not met. And then there's 2 additional sub-warrants regarding the volumes. The volumes were too low. So in that table 1, at the top, for 80%, those should all be no, 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 till you get down to condition 1C, and that's a no as well. In essence, and then we go down and the rest of the table, which addresses the other warrants that are outlined in the manual. I won't go through the detail of that, but the worksheets are in your back of your report and more or less like an Excel spreadsheet, and you can reference them. In those worksheets, they identify the volumes during those peak hours. You look for the highest 8 hours when we do an evaluation for a signal, and you can check the numbers there, but they're not high enough to meet the criteria. So in essence, there, Table 1 shows that a traffic signal is not warranted based on the criteria established in the California MUTCD. However, my review of the data there, even though the volumes, the speed surveys as a part of the count show that there is speeding occurring. So my recommendation to enhance safety at that location is to install radar feedback signs. What those are is you're traveling up, I'm sure you may have seen them at different locations in the city. They will highlight what your speed is. And so it gives a warning to the motorist that, you know, down below 25, but you're traveling 35 or 38. And so it's another positive way to enhance safety at the location. There really is no fiscal impact because the city was proactive and they had purchased before 10 of these radar feedback signs. So we have them available to be installed without any additional cost at this time. So that was my recommendation as a part of the report that I prepared in response to the city's authorization to do the study. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions that you may have relative to the request.
Just for clarification, you're saying condition 1, be A, B, C, it should be no?
It should be no, because the volumes were not there. If you were looking those in the sheets in the back of the report, you can cross-reference. They all say no.
Okay.
It's just it was a glitch in that table, unfortunately. The sheets in the appendix or of the report are all correct. And we provided volume sheets that you can cross-reference if you wanted to, you know, spot check or, you know, find out a little bit more information what's going on Lincoln Avenue during the different times of the day, as well as what the speeds are. So, and the speed survey is done for 24 hours. So those hoses, they monitor, they collect the speed data so you can see how many violators there are. This information can be shared with the police department so that they can see when the violations are occurring by looking at the speed survey, so they can send somebody out there during those times when the violations are occurring. So they're not out there all day, but they can target the days when it occurs and the time periods.
I do have. I am familiar with that area, and I don't drive out there on a regular basis, but I do remember when you need to make a left turn because of the curve, it's not clear to see the oncoming traffic. And so I'm actually surprised that there's no more accidents. So I think put in the radar to indicate the speed, and because that's a shortcut also from a lot of people that want to avoid taking the 60 because of how heavy it is in the afternoons. So, and then with the increase of inconsiderate drivers, irresponsible, how they speed lately, and that seems to be an ongoing problem. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future something else could happen or more accidents. So I'm glad that at least for now, despite the study that you have, that radar is being placed, and maybe then you can have better data to see if any additional measures need to be taken.
Yes, if conditions change, we can always go back and take another look. I believe that once the police department has the opportunity to see when the speeding is and a few citations are given out, it's always unfortunate that most of the speeders are local residents, but everyone's in a hurry, of course, school, work, what have you. So, but I think once a few citations are issued, I think that will perhaps change the feeling about motorists driving through that area.
Do you know how long the radar will stay in place to capture the data?
Typically, the radar speed back finds, you can collect the data, and then they are adjustable. Like, for example, you're speeding, it could be like 4 seconds, or you can go up there, I believe, as long as 12 seconds, it could stay posted for that length of time. So there's a variable adjustment on there that you can adjust how long the display shows to an oncoming motorist.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, I know that area good because my son Branson plays baseball. I go down, you say you're going east on Lincoln, it's speed zones also. I mean, there is speeding coming from Popular. Behind the school, they're gone behind the school all the way to get to curb. I was playing the house at the corner has to go over, or hit because you had a split. And the car's making the left-hand turns going from to the west. It's all speed. I do like the radar first. Leave it there for 12 seconds, whatever it is. It's better for people to read it, to understand it, that there's a radar there being tracked now.
Right.
Is there a way, anything else, how to catch those speeders on there with the motion or anything with the car goes by, it takes a picture of them?
We don't have, the units that we have do not take pictures, but they do motion, and it's adjustable for, for that distance. You can set it up, So they're, like I said, I suggested 400 feet back from the rear drive. That's adjustable. It could put them back 500, it could put them 300. So once the speeder comes along and it hits it, then he's going to see he's coming in advance of the radar sign that's installed. So that distance is adjustable as well. So they're speeding down Lincoln, east or in the west direction. That sign's going to pick them up, and they're going to see it light up and see what they're speeding, their speed is.
That's what I want to know how the distance. I was looking distance from the corner to the farther back. Where the curve is.
Oh, yes, right.
I want to know how far they can go back and they go, so they can see it. You just said it. So many yards back, whatever it is.
Well, I think probably when we get if approved and installed, then we'd go out there with the staff and we could do some tests as to how far back that could adjust it.
You answered my question.
Yeah.
Anything else on it? Okay, can we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second it.
We have a motion to approve this item by Vice Chair Knox, seconded by Commissioner Takayama. I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Knox?
Aye.
Chair Reyes?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay, we'll go to the next item. It's, removal, 748 South Taylor Avenue, blue curb removal application.
Mr. Barnes?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. I'll start out with the recommendation in the report is to approve the traffic engineer's recommendation to approve the request for the removal of the disabled parking space at 748 South Taylor, as shown in Figure 3 of the report. In the report, there's no fiscal impact other than this to be done, the removal, sign removal, graying out the curb, that would be part of normal staff time if they were to do like a work order. I presented the background information just as to share with the commissioners, the commission, what it takes to get a blue curb installed. So I won't read every line here, but basically you file the application, you have to comply, that we have other conditions such as whether you have a personal vehicle or a van. A van that has a ramp that downloads, you need a wider space in your driveway to, because the van comes out and drops down, as if you may have seen. So that type of information is in the policy. And then we get into the driveway specs. This driveway spec deals with, when I look at, and the ones that I presented before, we talk about if it's 14 feet wider or more. If it's more, the thinking or the theory is that then you have an opportunity to go up to the side of the vehicle, open the door or the van, and you can access, that person can get access to the vehicle, whether it be a van or a passenger car. So all that type of information is part of the policy, and it's what I look at when I do the review. So we're looking at the driveway width. Do they have a garage? Okay, then we look at there's per the building code, is it 14 feet wide or more? If it's less than that, then we know that they can't get inside the garage and do a loading and unloading as easy. So that's another basis to justify the blue curb space. And I want to mention that the blue curb space per the state of California, the code is actually, it's 18 feet in length. That's how long a handicap space should be. So if we were to put one out tomorrow, it should be at least 18 feet in length to meet the state code. So with that in mind, we looked at the information presented, and the other part of the policy is, I repeated that a blue curb can be removed if a resident requests a removal or if it's no longer needed, which is what the situation was at this location, and they wanted more parking. But the caveat is, when you remove that blue curb and it's no longer there, then anybody, of course, can park out on the street. It opens opens up the space for anyone that elects to park there. So the conclusion was that it meets the criteria and a recommended removal based on the facts presented. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have on the request.
Did the applicant indicate why he or she wanted it removed? Because I know it's such a lengthy process.
Yes, and I believe they were not the original. I perhaps could have included the letter. They did send, each one of these has a letter that they sent in stating why they no longer wanted it. They were not the original applicant, and it was done by a prior owner for the most part, and so they had no need for it. And that was some of the basis as to why they wanted more parking on the street, but with the caveat that once it's removed, of course, anyone can park there. Yes.
Did you say that the letter received to remove the blue curb was not the original requester?
I believe so. I wish hindsight I would have put that letter attached to the report, because each request had a letter sent in to the city stating why they wanted it removed.
I guess my only concern would be, I don't have any issue if there's a request to be removed. The only question that comes to mind is if the original requester is not aware of the request to remove it and wants it back, would that be possible to put it back if it's, let's say, my sibling? There's a sibling that wants to open up the parking, but the other sibling feels the need because they have an elderly parent. And there's I'm just putting out that scenario.
Right, I understand what you're asking. They would have to reapply, and they would have to pay the fee again. I mean, if it's removed, it's an open public parking space on the street. So if you want, it'd be like anyone else, it comes to the city and they want a blue curb installed, they're going to have to submit an application, pay their fees, and we'd have to reevaluate it. And there's nothing in the current language that says, you come back later, we'll give it, just reinstall it at the present time in the policy. Doesn't state that today. That's not to say that the policy could be modified. The commissioner could request that the policy have another statement to the current policy. That would have to be approved. Would have to go through the director and how the chain of command is, how that would be implemented though. But right now, it's not in that language.
Any other questions? Come up. Okay, do I have a motion to approve this item?
I motion to approve.
I second it.
We have a motion to approve this item by Vice Chair Knox, seconded by Commissioner Takayama. I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Knox?
Yes.
Chair Bayes?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Going to the next item. Okay, it's 764 North Garfield Avenue, apartment 101, blue curb removal. Correct?
Yes, thank you. As stated, this location is at 764 North Garfield, and I have the summary of why this individual requested the removal here. Again, like the prior report, I'll read the recommendation. Approve the request for removal of the disabled parking space at 764 North Garfield Avenue, and that would be the removal of the sign as well. Again, the policy, city's policy is repeated there for the driveway and so forth. What the person has requested there was that the removal reason was parking was being used by different residents. It's not being used as intended. He paid the fees and everything, but anyone with a blue placard can park there, and not just himself. I kind of remember this in the past. It was when you're in an apartment complex, I mean, anyone can try to assist him, but other individuals maybe nearby could also park there. So we reviewed this, all the information as presented and requested by the city and in terms of our form, and I agreed that, or concurred that removal, we can acknowledge or accept his removal since he's not happy, or he realizes it's not serving his purpose because he's not the only one that gets to use that space. Think of it on Garfield, if you're sure familiar with that area, all the apartments there. I mean, anyone with a placard could utilize the space. It's not just for for that one individual. So his conclusion was, just again, caveat, anyone will be able to park there once it's removed. But that's what his request is. And if that's what he desires, I have no reason to deny or refuse removal.
I did have a comment, though. Obviously, this is a little different because it's apartments, but if people are using it serves its purpose. Sadly, he had to pay the fee for it, but I just feel like if they're using it, there must be some need for it there in that little area.
I can understand your rationale, they're right. He's not having the full benefit of the space, even though he paid the fees and so forth for the space, but others are receiving the benefit because they're in the apartment complex. So I addressed the owners, the resident, his concerns, but I understand what you're saying. There's a benefit to the others that live in the apartments or that have a placard.
And because there seems to be others that are in need of this, right? That means that there might be those people that are in need will then come and ask for this to be done again, because there seems to be a need.
Right, but they'd have to pay the fee if they were to request the space.
Yeah, I see a letter which is, come out with that. They paid them $197. It's the one else using it.
All right.
The way I see it, if I was a resident and I'm the one who requested it for my use and then other people are using it, so then what's the purpose of me requesting it? So you can see both sides, like,
Right.
yes, there is a need. However, if I'm the one who requested it because I have a need, I paid for it, yet I have to still look for parking elsewhere. So might as well not have it and I'll continue looking for parking elsewhere.
Right, and the owner's responsible for the annual maintenance fee as well. So, once it's eliminated, he no longer pays the annual fee.
Okay.
Do you have a motion on it?
I motion to approve.
I second the motion.
We have a motion to approve this item by Vice Chair Knox, seconded by Commissioner Hernandez. I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Knox?
Yes.
Chair Bayes?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay, we'll go to the next item. Will be 848 South Fifth Street, another blue curb removal application.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. The recommendation, as stated on page 1 of the report, is to approve the request for removal. Again, the report repeats the city's policy and what's required to get a blue curb space. Again, repeating the driveway specs and the garage information. And a repeat of the blue curb may be removed if they request it. I present the existing conditions to show you where it is. I presented pictures on page 3 of the report showing where it's located, and there's a sign there, and then showing that it would be grayed out. We show it with a white mark on the diagram as such. The recommendation, again, had no reason not to deny his request. So my recommendation was to approve his request for removal.
That seems to be an easy one. I motion to approve if there's no comments. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
I second the motion.
We have a motion to approve this item by Vice Chair Knox, seconded by Commissioner Takayama. I will now commence roll call. Commissioner Takayama?
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Knox?
Yes.
Chair Bayes?
Yes.
The motion passes.
Back to our comments, commission comments.
Should I start? I'm recommending that a study be conducted to evaluate the installation of either a solar-powered rectangular rapid flashing beacon with push-button activation or a Hawk intensity activated crosswalk beacon at the crosswalk located at Olympic Boulevard and Alston Street due to ongoing issues with vehicles failing to yield the right-of-way to pedestrians.
If I may make a suggestion on this, for the commission to allow us to study this intersection to assess possible traffic calming measures. My concern with this, that a hawk signal is actually a capital project. It's outside the purview of the traffic commission. Only that needs to go through our internal process and for approval of the city council should they want to go in that direction. So I would suggest for the time being that the commission consider, instead of focusing specifically on a hawk signal, assessing this intersection and possible traffic calming measures, and then having us report back at a future date.
I have a comment on that one. This has been brought up for over a year, the same thing over. Olympic and Austin. How long do we have to wait for anybody to go back and look at this again? I mean, it's gonna take a while. We don't know how long it take to put the blinker on, whatever we have to do. We painted the curve over, that don't help. We need something to show it, to let the pedestrians know when to go. They push button, they got the time. But the drivers are not looking at that. They're looking at us way home. I tried to cross the street on purpose twice. I mean, I stopped in the middle of the street. Just let that guy, I hate that, an idiot, just because he wants to get by me. Hey, he hits me. What's gonna say? Well, there's a point. You know, so we should look at sooner than this, than waiting. We should work on that as soon as possible. Instead of this capital project thing. This, like I said, this is brought up since, I've been here already 2 years, but this will be brought up way before that. As you know, I was a commissioner 134, and it was brought up then. The same street, Olympic and Austin, that street is dangerous for pedestrians. So if I can have an answer, please.
So, Chair, if I may interject, the city council did approve and authorize the SB 120 fiscal year 23-24 funding towards the Olympic corridor. And so currently we do have an engineering firm that's reviewing the whole corridor, all the way from 4th Street to the west city limits. And they're analyzing every intersection. It's a feasibility study that they're currently reviewing, and they're looking for complete street solutions to this whole corridor. So we do hear you here. I just don't think that we want to spend money on top of somebody else already doing the review, because in many instances, multiple engineering firms looking at the same location seems like a waste of funds. And so at some point in time, we would come back to if the city council or the city manager's office request, we would come in with the engineering firm to kind of discuss this. Part of their analysis too is to get input from the community as to some of the improvements throughout the corridor. But rest assured that they are looking at it from a traffic perspective.
Okay, if there's a visual study that's being conducted, if we could have like an update on it as it goes along, because yeah, if you walk, we walk that area and we can't cross. It's like dodging yourself between cars. They won't stop.
Yes, thank you. So we'll come back, report that, and I just asked the commission for your patience. It's not because we're not trying to address these issues. These issues take a lot of time, and we have to follow our process. Traffic Commission has their process. That we have our internal process. The City Council has their process, and in particular with the capital project, I'm thinking about the traffic signal on 6th Street and Whittier, which has taken well over 20 years, right? And thanks to Caesar's work and his leadership with the department, it got approved last year, and we're barely getting to a point where we're going to get it to council for them to award to begin the construction, and it's really not going to go in the pipeline until next year. So it's not that we don't want to move forward. It's just, government moves at a snail's pace, and then also we have to consider, of course, traffic concerns, but also cost. Right. As I mentioned, these hawk signals. Caesar, I don't know, the last one we did in our previous municipality, it took like 18 months or so for it just to manufacture the light, and that's not even because these are custom made. These are custom made, and that's not even accounting how expensive they are. So, and again, our hands are tied within this body. That specific request needs to go to the city council due to the cost, which is significant. So I think, yeah, if you allow us, let us report back like Caesar said, it's already something that's in the pipeline that's being analyzed, and then we can, assess based on that information we receive. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Vice Chair?
Yes, I will. We have bumps on our street, San Antonio, that leads to 20th Street. And the bumps are kind of lifting. They're not the ones that are part of the asphalt. So they're the ones that are above and with screws, I guess. And some of them are coming off. And I think they give them maintenance on a regular basis. So I think it would be ideal, if possible, if you could be considered to switch them to asphalt bumps rather than the ones that just are installed above that are rubber or whatever.
Yeah, so these, thank you very much, Vice Chair. So yeah, some of the speed humps that were replaced were rubber asphalt, and they just screw them into the existing asphalt versus the ones that are, actually constructed with asphalt. We could take a look at that. On San Antonio Drive, do you have is there an actual specific location?
There are in two areas on San Antonio Drive, and it's a very short street, so you will not miss them.
I'll go to my agenda now. My comments said, okay, on Los Angeles Street and Fifth, they brought this up before. There are no stop signs either, north or east and west, I should say. We just had the ones on 4th, Dunn, 3rd Street, 7th, but 5th Street, there isn't any. And they do speed ever since. Like I said, Los Angeles became a fast way to get across. Ever since the Olympic been worked on, they come down, they get to there, they come from Montebello all the way to Bluff. And they race through there, I'm not gonna say. I was there the other not too long ago. There was a hit, but nothing reported because there were no injuries. The guy's car was pretty good. I mean, he said he could do it. But what happens if somebody else that don't have, so if you are real speed racers that run around there, like they could throw a donut right in the middle of the street there. I seen it at that little store with Wall Street stories, whatever. I see them throw donuts there. I laughed. I go, I don't know how they make it, but they need to stop because cars they want to cross. They want to go north and south. So if we can get a stop sign in that corner on the one going north and east and west, I should say. That's the only comment I have.
Thank you very much, Chair. So we have started to review that. We did go ahead and inform Dennis to start reviewing that request.
Thank you.
Yes, and we're aware of the accident that was posted on social media recently. So we've already been talking about it internally. So it's in the queue to analyze it. Okay, and we'll come back.
Well, I'm gonna have to agenda me. I hate to, but we have to.
7:02.
Yeah, 7:02 and agenda. What's the next meeting?
The last.
Okay. Okay, right. I'd like to agenda meeting of today, 20th of July. See you all in the end of August. Bye. Bye.